All right. What's up, guys? My name's Xavier Gordon, Caesar, here with Away Television. And today we got Tremayne. He's a DJ, rapper, and event coordinator. He has
Hey, hey, hey,
some
hey.
some things he wants to say about the music industry and just some other stuff. So, yeah, let's get started, man.
Say no more. I think it's funny since we've been planning this and having the whole conversations about like the music industry and stuff, like so much
Yeah.
has happened. Obviously, like the fucking Kendrick Drake J. Cole beef, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That has kind of progressed or transitioned from like the kind of like sneaky shots that Drake and J. Cole took on first person shooters to like the straight out call out that Kendrick did on Like That. And then Cole putting out the response to that, but then also
Yeah.
doubling back on it. So it's been like an interesting time in terms of artistry. And like perspective wise, honestly, it's kind of been like one of those things where for me, I've been thinking a lot about the whole idea of how the industry works and
Yeah.
provide or having the opportunity to provide like some clarity for like artists, up and coming artists, uh people who want to kind of enter the industry and have high hopes, and kind of trying to figure out how to create a balance in them and make sure that they have the information that lets them know like, yo, like I'm on the right path, I'm not on the right path, this is a realistic perspective of how long it's going to take for me to make it, and not everybody kind of being like, I can win this lottery, because like the lottery is crazy out here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a coincidence I'm like in this area, but I got to shout out an artist that I collaborated with a couple of years back, Backwash. I don't know how many people know Backwash, but incredible artist. um had the pleasure of working with them on one of my joints, Daddy Issues,
Yeah.
and like amazing response. They're like a Polaris Prize winner, um, but like dope, and it's always dope to kind of like see shit like that, and like that's the redeeming things, right? Is moments like that where like you see an artist who is like is not on like the fucking record label payment plan or whatever, but has kind of like carved out their space in terms
Yeah.
of an audience that really fucks with them and supports them to a huge degree. Um, but also it's one of those things where I feel like it's so, especially in Canada, politically charged, and it's in a space where like honestly that like her win was probably one of the most um what do you call it, like real, like authentic wins that I've seen in music in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's like refreshing to me, but it's also so rare. And we also know like those things happen probably like once or twice a generation, where like the right person gets what they deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the most part, really what it is it's a lottery, yo. Like it's exactly the same as buying a lottery ticket, where it's like a bunch of motherfuckers who all have the same hopes and dreams. And that, I don't know how much a fucking lottery ticket costs because I don't buy lottery tickets, but like if it's $5 or $2, it's like that's the equivalent to studio time and like paying for ads and publicists or whatever, and all the money that you put into your career hoping to make it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, like you didn't kiss the right ass in the record label, or you didn't fucking um go to that party and fucking you know big up one of the like OGs and give them credit or whatever. It's like this whole, it's a whole hierarchy to me of just like doing and saying and being the right person socially that gives you the opportunity to even compete in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's always been something that's kind of like um, rubbed me, not even the wrong way, but just like in a way where it's like it's something that nobody really talks about or like rarely talks about because
Yeah.
obviously like the person who is at the top or when you get to a position of power, you're not gonna like jeopardize that by being like, yo, don't talk to me, don't da 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 da. Like I'm not that person, or like I can only help you in this way, or I deserve this gratification. You're gonna be on a tip where it's like, oh, I made it. Like this is finally my time. Whereas like people are paying me these respects, whatever the case may be. But it's like that to me, the thing that Canada lacks, and I'm gonna speak specifically towards like the Canadian industry, is it lacks that whole like I don't know. I reflect constantly on how the powerhouses in New York were able to kind of create um, this space for hip hop to exist as a like profitable pop music genre. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
when you look at that, that's like the likes of, uh, you know, taboo name to say now, Diddy, Jay-Z, Irv Gotti, Dame Dash,
Yeah.
fucking Master P, um, fucking,
What happened? I want to know what happened with Diddy. I didn't hear what happened with him. I just know everybody's making fun of him now.
he got caught up in some like drug trafficking charges and it's a bunch of shit. It's like they caught his mule apparently, and like I don't know what is real from what's not. Like I'm letting that shit play out to an extent because I mean, to me, even in that light, like I spoke about this on another podcast. It's like, yo, when it comes to black affairs, I just feel like we are so much in the public eye, especially as celebrities and shit, that like as soon as it becomes a thing, as soon as somebody throws dirt on your name, the jokes and like the speculation and everything overshadow what potentially could be the truth. And if
Yeah.
it's like if the truth is that like he didn't do any of it, or if the truth is that he was like third party involved or whatever, all the blame is going to go directly towards him because it's so easy for it to be proven through like jokes or through like just like fake news and shit like that. So like I don't know. For me, like
Yeah.
not saying and like respect to anybody who is affected by it or whatever, and not saying that like I am riding for Diddy, but I'm riding for the blackness and then also what it represents because we also haven't had a lot of people to his magnitude that we've been able to kind of like keep the legacy of what happened alive. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at
Yeah.
somebody, like I guess to the in the end it kind of goes towards like the idea of like separating the art from the artist because Diddy has huge contributions in hip hop that like if we were to be like he's guilty, fuck him, throw all his like contributions away, like it would bring hip hop back to the dark ages. And that like there's no other uh culture that does that. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
know that like in country they stole from black people. We know that in rock and roll they stole from black people. And we
Yeah.
still let those legacies live strong, regardless of what like they did or how they did it or who they harmed or whatnot. Because like that that is something that like white people are proud of. And like they're like, yo, like no, like Elvis is still the greatest. You know what I mean? And like shit like
Yeah.
that was like, oh, okay, like regardless of who Elvis was, what he was accused of, what he did, like Elvis is still the greatest in a lot of people's eyes, and that's not an argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, all that being said, to go back to what I was saying before, I just think when it comes to like Diddy, Jay Z, Dash, Master P, uh, Birdman, like all those people who were trendsetters in their area in the States who were creating multiple multi-platinum albums and artists and like the framework for what hip hop is now or just for hip hop to exist and be respected and taken seriously as
Yeah.
like profitable uh and pop like genre. I feel like that is all I care about for real. Like I don't, you could change Diddy's name with a million other people. It's like fuck the person. It's just the idea of being able to separate what was done in for culture and being like, all right, cool, like this is what was done for culture, and we're already like pretty much out of the Diddy era, anyways. So it's like there's no point in going back and rewriting that piece of history. Fuck that. Like put him in jail if he's guilty, and keep moving in the direction that like allows us like to talk less about it, but keep it as inspiration and keep it in the history books and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all that is is also to say that like whatever everything that those guys did, like that doesn't exist here. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they're like we can't put our egos aside in Canada. We can't come together to be able to create a moment like that, and to kind of like have it be for more than us, more than each individual person. Like when we're talking about any of
Yeah.
the OGs, you know what I'm saying? When we're talking about anybody who has any of that leverage, who has connection to the States, like how has something like the Junos existed for so long, and we're giving all these credits to all these artists, but we're not ushering in or connecting with the States to be able to make it like a legitimate thing where like now people are like, oh, what, like where's Jay-Z at this week? Oh shit, he's at the Junos. We should all watch the Junos. Like we know how much power those individuals have, and we know that there are
Yeah.
individuals here that have the power to be able to bring those people out or call that card to make things legitimate, but that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like if we really wanted to kind of like blow up this industry and give it like a public eye, these are things that we should be doing. We should be incorporating those individuals. We should be like creating space for them to come over here and fucking influence or bring that influence that they have from the States here so that it expands Canada. Cause like, I don't know, the conversation has always been for so long, yo, Canada's too small. There's only 60 million people, or there's only, was it 36 million or 60 million? However
So
many million people. It's like a small
there's
amount.
only 30, there's like 35, 36.
Okay, so 36 million people in Canada, and I think there's 60 million people in the UK, and there's like 600 million people in the States, right? But everybody talks about just like because how small we are, we can't affect things. But like this is 2024, bro. Like that most people live on the internet. There is no like your population doesn't affect your opportunity for success. It's your ability to be able to affect a global space. You know what I mean? It's your
Yeah.
opportunity to as an industry, like I know individual artists can do this too, but also it's hard because like you don't get as much respect as like everybody thinks you do saying you're from Canada. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows Drake, everybody knows Bieber, everybody knows The Weeknd and shit like that. They know we have powerhouses, but nobody's like, oh yeah, we should take the rest of the country seriously. They're like, okay, you guys got that. Now back to the drawing board. Let's see you guys do it again, because it's like
Yeah.
they I feel like those individuals didn't like put on enough to be able to create space for us to be like, yo, like this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going crazy. I'm ranting.
Uh, no, it's all good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, what do you think about Kanye? I think
um,
you fuck with him a little bit.
I mean, I absolutely fuck with Kanye all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think again, that's a situation of separating the art from the artist, but then also having a conversation of just like when you create a space where there is a microscope on you like that, like most of us would probably flip up and say some shit that they it's able to be taken out of context and for people to be like, oh, like this person's this person's that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think the most redeeming moments have come recently with him dropping vultures, like and everybody kind of like counting them out. Like I remember the first day vultures dropped, fucking Rolling Stone, Billboard, fucking
Yeah.
the Guardian, like there are all these platforms like this is the most disgusting piece of shit ever. I don't need to listen to it to know that it's like it's crap and we don't fuck with it. Da 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 da. A week
Yeah.
later, a week later after you got number one, all those same places, like you could look it up, Billboard, Rolling Stones, everybody wrote a new article being like, what does it mean that Kanye, an independent artist, went #1? This is like a monumental moment for hip hop, for music, so on and so forth. So it's
Yeah.
like, yo, what, like, why did that first article come out, and what do you guys really feel? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like the that's the thing, is like, in this day and age, it's so easy to consume information so quickly, and none of it is like, there's no control. You know what I mean? There's really no laws on like, yo, truth and untruth. And then also we deal so much, especially in entertainment, in a space where like you really can't tell what's real and not real. You know what I mean? It is he say, she say all the time. So it's like,
Yeah.
something happens and the media runs with it one way, it's gonna be fucking hard to change that opinion or change that idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but all that being said, like, again, another artist who I respect all the contributions that he's given the uh to the genre, um, to music as a whole, to black music, to kids who dream bigger than just like doing a cipher or just like the classic hip hop, to be like rock stars, you know what I mean? To be like a black
Yeah.
rock star, to know that you can like also transcend from not just doing one thing, but being at the top of like two different worlds, three different worlds, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can do
What do you
more.
what do you think of Cowboy Carter?
Cowboy Carter. Um, I thought it was an incredible project. I think honestly, to me, it was the first time in a long time that Beyonce relied on her vocals, which I
Yeah.
thought was like incredible to hear. It was like, it was beautiful. I think honestly, she has one of the most beautiful voices in the industry, and she for a while was really more on some like this like young, rebellious, sassy like rap sing type thing, and was really like, it was, that shit was incredible as well. It was like showing a lot more of her like character, charisma, and kind of just like building, I feel like, confidence in a lot of black women.
Yeah.
But this like, this I thought was like super dope because of the fact that it was like, yo, like, she went back to a place where like we, to a large extent, had been banned from, right? The stories have been buried in terms of like,
Yeah.
the existence of like black cowboys, or just like, you know black people who are in like
In
the,
country.
yeah, in country. And I think that was like majorly important. I think it was dope that she also uh put a lot of up and coming black country artists on the album, and gave them an opportunity to have a extremely sustainable career and a large amount of visibility as like up and coming artists that like you don't get from a level of like Beyonce. And I also feel like honestly, it's like a moment, she's on a run because she did it last year with like her house album, or her dance album as well, where like these are conversations that are important. Like, what was it, 2-ish years ago, when, or no, I guess it's been fucking way longer than that, maybe like 5 or 6 years, where Kate Renata won best electronic producer.
Yeah.
And 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 everybody was like shocked, because it's like, yo, first black person to win best electronic producer, but we created the fucking genre. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
was another one of those scenarios where it's like, yo, the representation makes no sense, and it didn't hit us until it hit us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about you. Like what's like what's up uh yeah, like what's up with you?
Yo, honestly, man, I'm enjoying life, bro. Like, I am in a place where I've found a lot of creative freedom. You know what I mean? I found a place where I feel comfortable not like obsessing or desperately trying to like do only music, only rapping, so on and so forth. Like I'm finding strides in being able to like expand my creativity, and I feel like it's very similar to an extent to like what I feel like happens with artists who are able to like conquer music or like get to a place where they feel comfortable with music and they start diversifying, because there isn't only one way out of a place or space that you're in. There's multiple ways, and you never know what the combination is going to be that's going to allow you to get to the place that you want to be in life. You know what I'm saying? And I think now that's more relevant more than ever, because of the fact that it's like, if we're being honest, there aren't many artists who are just artists anymore. Like you got to be artist, influencer, do a little bit of acting, fucking get into fashion and endorse a shoe, and you know what I mean? Like in order for you to
Yeah.
actually break through, like they really want to fucking have you do everything. Like they want to fucking take all your time and energy to give you, I mean, what I feel like is freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Um, yeah, but that's the vibes I'm on, you know what I'm saying? As I was saying before, like in terms of like the camp and shit, like it's like where I'm DJing a lot. Charlie Noir is putting out music. Scotty IV is putting out music. Um, we're doing a lot to kind of like focus on their careers and find like their space in the industry. Um, doing a lot of like back end work in terms of just like uh, festivals and applying for grants and trying to like expand this thing in house. You know what I mean? And not kind of like have to rely on the classic like label deal or just like who and what but being able to like build it organically, you know what I'm saying? And having and being able to like create space for the people that fuck with us to feel confident in being like, yo, like stay out late to shit. Like I'm gonna promote these guys like as much as I can type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it, gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, is there anything else you want to say?
Honestly,
Anything
bro, that's it. You know what I
you want to
mean? I
talk
feel like
about?
it was a dope conversation. Uh I'm glad that we had it. I feel like it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It was dope hollering at you, bro. It was dope chatting with you. I hope you keep doing this. I hope you keep getting motherfuckers to come through and fuck with this. And like to me, this is another outlet or thing that we lack here, is just like the opportunity to talk your shit for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, it's important to artists because like you do so much, and you know what I mean? If it just stays built up, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's up? That's it, bro.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.